Good afternoon, Miss Joyce.
Good afternoon.
Well, technically, for creative media, we're looking at the political side of Cranford, and the thing that I'm researching into is head boy and head girl. So I'd just like to ask you a few questions so I can get a bit of idea about the background of it.
Okay.
So what is the message behind head boy and head girl?
Okay. As you know, at Cranford, we like students to take on posts of responsibility. It's a way of making young people understand that in life, that you can have a representative voice, and in a school context, that representative voice is for the student body, and that's very important. Being head boy, head girl, or one of the deputies, it's an opportunity to show leadership qualities. It also is an opportunity to listen to student voice and represent the whole school community. And it's also a way of understanding what it means to have a manifesto, which is to actually put forward what you feel you should be doing in that role, and understand the bigger picture about leadership and management, because that's how it's viewed here in the school.
Okay. When they are campaigning, who do you think their target audience is?
Well, I think that the target audience should be the whole school. That includes staff and students. Because they are seen as part of the leadership and management of the school, and they work with the senior leadership team, the impact of what they do is to do with staff and students, so the whole school community. So that's their target audience.
Okay, so because the target audience is quite a wide range, what are their strategies to get all the target audience?
Okay, the election process is quite involved, and it is quite challenging for the candidates. So when they're actually going to apply to be a head boy or head girl, they need to understand that they have to meet certain deadlines and certain campaign expectations in order that they can even be considered for election. The first thing they have to do is to write a letter of application to the head teacher outlining why they think they would be eligible to be a candidate. The head teacher then looks through all of the applications with myself, and based on the criteria of the job description that they've given in the first place and how the explanation about the roles and role responsibility, the head then decides, in consultation with myself, based on the letters of application, if they think that they are eligible to go forward for the election campaign. They then become a candidate, and this is very much in line with how you would become a candidate for a political election out there for a member of Parliament or a member of the local government. After they've done that, as a candidate, they then have to advertise their candidature, and that is usually done through a poster, a PowerPoint, which is then advertised to the whole school community, going to assemblies to introduce themselves, and then they have to think about their campaign. They have a campaign manager, which is usually a member of staff who can help guide them as they can manage what they have to do. And then they have to go out there and engage the electorate, that is the student and staff body. And then during the week of the campaign leading to the election day, they then have to go and talk at lunch times and break times and answer questions and canvass for support. And then on the final part of it, which is the election day, the ballot boxes are set up, and it's a secret ballot, so even they don't know until the very end of the day whether or not they have been successful. The only person who will know that at the end of the day, before anybody else, is myself with the head teacher, and the head teacher announces it.
Okay, how effective do you think head boy and head girl is so far?
I think that's actually a question you need to ask the student body. Because my working with the head boy, head girl and their deputies has been very much from an events perspective, as in representing and being ambassadors for the school. I think they have made some good decisions and made opportunities out there, for instance the Jeans for Jeans Day activity, which raised a lot of money for a very, very good charity, was an initiative set up by them. Whether or not they have done the job that they wanted to do, I think the people to ask are the student body, because they are the audience that they are specifically elected by.
Okay. Is there anything else you could tell us about head boy and head girl?
I think that the role of head boy, head girl and their deputies, and they are seen as a quartet because it's not just about two people in charge with deputies standing in for them. It should be about team working together. I think they are and should be outstanding role models for the school and for the student body. They should be something to aspire to by younger students. And I think that if they are doing their job properly and they are actually representing the student body and are known around the school by the student body and staff, that younger students should be taking on the role of the school council representatives or any one of the student leader roles that Miss Murphy has set up. They are the sort of the practice ground for learning what it is that you need to do, what sort of skills and expertise you should bring with you, so that when you get to that point in the sixth form where you want to apply to be a prefect, which is the first step, and then head girl, head boy, that you understand the responsibility of the role, because it's a very important role and a highly valued role.
Okay, and finally, is there any advice you would like to give for the future sixth formers who would like to try to become head boy or head girl?
Get involved. Be high profile in the way that you do things, not just, the things that look like sort of glossy type things, but real things. Supporting staff on duty, challenging poor behaviour, being a strong role model, having a voice, and doing it the right way, not just throwing your toys out the pram, so to speak, but actually finding the right routes. Recognise that as a young citizen that you have a role to play, not just within the school community, but out there. Think about not just the money aspect of, as in raising money for charity. Think about what you can actually do. Go and join a group. Take on a role that perhaps supports, disabled children, that on a weekend that you go and spend a couple of hours running a group. Get involved with old people. Do something for your community, not just the school community, but the community out there. And understand that all of those things are so important to making you the person that you are, that you then have the right skills, the values, and the experience to then go forward for being a head boy, head girl.
Thank you, Miss Joyce. That was very helpful.